Well, welcome back to the Norfolk barn. It's been a couple of weeks since we last did a video showing you the progress that we're making in here. And there's been quite a bit of work that's progressed that has really brought this on now. We are probably within about 2 to 3 weeks of completing this project. We've got quite a bit of second fix electrics in. We've got functional lighting. Sockets are on. Lights are in, partially in. We've got our spots around where the kitchen's going to be fitted for task lighting. We've got these two massive chandeliers which passed the safety checks and have been wired in, 12-arm chandeliers in brass. There is going to be in the centre here a French crystal chandelier which didn't pass the safety checks, and two more brass chandeliers, one where we've got that white light fitting and another in the utility room that again are having to be rewired and earth fitted. Is a lesson to be learned for us there. When you're doing these things, make sure that they are compliant for an electrician that's doing a job like this to be able to certify you at the end of the job, and that means they have to be in good condition wiring wise and with earths attached all the time. So they're being rewired by a specialist in Fakenham for us. The match boarding we decided to go for on these walls is now just about complete. That one still has just been rubbed down where the filler's gone over all the nail marks. Yesterday evening this one had its final top coat of paint on, and we've run this now right the way round into the utility room. So we've got it coming round that end wall. The steel holding that wall up is going to be covered with that flashboard, and then around here the matchboarding continues round, some skirting going on. Once I've got these painted up, we've got electricians coming in again this week to do more second fit electrical work. Lights have gone on a beam that we decided to rub back rather than have heavily lined. First of the task lighting's here over where the big sink and kitchen unit's going to sit between those two elements of skirting board that are cut and loose. Very pleased with the finish in here. It's just about complete. I've started to paint up the woodwork around the windows and doors. There is absolutely masses of woodwork still to be done here, but it's coming on. Let me go show you through. We've now got the log burner in, which I showed you last week. The lights with the big LED glow bulbs are really successful. We've also got the lighting strips placed on top of the big beams in the two central beams, and they work really nicely to give a lovely warm ambient light. I think we're going to use that a lot. Through in the bathroom, we are almost ready for some, well, no, we're not ready for some second fix plumbing. It's all ready to go in here, but the floor's not been put down yet. We are fully plastered now, and matchboard's gone up in here. We're going to put this stiff key blue paint on the matchboarding with the porcelain in front. The metal stand's also done in stiff key blue, and we think that's going to hopefully pick up the detailing on the old Dalton bullnosed dolphin set that we've got here. It's not an antique set, we found out. It was reproduced in the late 20th century, and we've got one of those units that's been sitting in the barn for a while. But I think on the contrast of the wall, that's going to look very good. Shower trays all here ready for the wet room. As I say, we're plastered out. We're going to sand that beam down and keep it as a natural beam rather than painting it. So fair bit of work to go on in here yet. Hopefully the floor's going to go down this week. We've got, as you probably noticed back here, two panes of glass that came and didn't fit in the centre door here, so we're waiting for new double glazing units to come for that. We've still got the window that's going in the old cottage bedroom above us on the floor over there, waiting for the scaffolding to go up. We've had quite a bit of landscaping work done around the cottage. Gravel path now is going to go right the way round and through the centre of the cutting garden at the back here. Still got my selection of mini diggers on site. But we're going to take a large patio area right out beyond where the dumper truck's sitting at the moment and create quite a large, probably 4 by 4 metre raised patio with steps going down either side onto this path, and then a step going down onto the pathway that we've created. You can see just going across the cutting garden, and that will give us hopefully better use of this big bifold door that will swing right the way back and allow us to extend this room out. This view is going to be fantastic. I think we showed you in one of the gardening videos yesterday the run of roses that have been there now for probably some of those almost 8 or 9 years. Really a mature planting that gives such a nice view out of this big picture window. This is going to be somewhere where we're going to really enjoy seating. And later in the morning the sun comes up higher over the trees, and this does get the morning sun from around 8 o'clock, probably a little earlier towards the end of June. So lots of progress being made, still everything sitting around. We did have a big tidy up on Friday, but it's coming together. We've got that plaster beam plastered that I've got to paint and then retouch this lime wash. Haven't put the lights in here because we were going to put some uplighters rather than the spots that we'd bought as downlighters, but they had to be rewired as well. So I think we're probably going to go with the Jim Lawrence downlighters in here as well, but I'm going to sand that beam back quite considerably to get some wood effect on it rather than just having it limed. We've started on this one. I'm going to knock out these old blocks where they've been filled with mortar just for the period effect. It's lovely to keep. You do realise when you start putting level match boarding on though, nothing else in this barn's exactly straight. Just look at the drop on that beam from one end to another. But that's all period character and makes you just remember that you are in a 19th or 18th century barn rather than a new build, which is all too easy to lose once you start putting internal walls up with these perfect finishes. Having a contrast is very nice, and I'm very pleased with the effect that we've kept this brick wall just with the lime on it. Really does give a lovely period effect. Can't wait to get that log burner going. We've finally got the external airflow sorted out on the back with a more substantial piece. The one that was fitted by the team that fitted it, which was supplied by the log burner company, was just so flimsy, brittle aluminium, and it lasted about 5 minutes. So we've got a black hot air or heat tube on there, which should be thermally secure even on the back of the log burner. It's insulated, tied down. We may well box that in. Builder's going to try and cut a tile so we get a nice finish where it disappears down into the floor for the external air. All protected up still, and hopefully this is going to look very different in about 2 weeks when we can start bringing some furnishings in, getting the floor uncovered. And we've got one set of sealant down, but we're going to probably try and put a second dose of sealant onto the limestone just to give us that extra protection because it's so pale. But we'll see. We'll decide how porous it is when it's uncovered, cleaned up, and we try to put that application on.